Police have now captured the man accused of killing a woman and a young child today in DeKalb County.
It happened on Columbia Drive, and police say he was no stranger to the victims.
On June 13th, 2025, in Hillendale, DeKalb County, Georgia, a quiet Friday morning would unravel into one of the most horrifying family tragedies the state had seen in years. The shooter was 48-year-old William Lewis Almond, a deeply unstable man who had been spiraling for months, if not years. And when he finally snapped, he took the life of the very woman he loved, all because he became desperate to prove a point. A very sadistic one at that. William had long been described by those who knew him as a man one argument away from exploding. Erratic, hostile, and unmedicated, he had a history of violent outbursts and paranoia. He spoke quite often of people playing with his mind, and when things didn't go his way, he'd talk about blood. His 29-year-old wife, Tomika Polland, had tried to keep peace in their fractured home. A security guard by profession, she was known in her Stone Mountain neighborhood as a hardworking woman who took pride in protecting her family, even if it meant shielding them from her own husband. But even her strength couldn't hold back the chaos forever. William had made the threats weeks before the shooting in a chilling video he posted online.
For y'all to even come at me sideways with this mouth like y'all just sure enough ready to go sit behind them bars, man.
And in the video, he promised to spray her family's house with bullets, even if there were children inside playing. It wasn't just a threat, it was a declaration of intent, and on June 13th, he fulfilled it. Armed and unhinged, William entered the Hillendale home and unleashed hell. He shot and killed Tomika's 7-year-old niece, a child whose only crime was being born. As innocent and little as she was, he didn't hesitate to execute her on sight. And then, as if claiming dominion over his own rage, he murdered Tomika, the woman he once swore his heart and soul to. But this wasn't a sudden act of madness. It was a slow ticking descent into a sick act of domestic terrorism. And all the warning signs had been there, yet many were left to realize after the deed had been done. On social media, William would post erratic rants about missed mental health appointments, threatening staff, and demanding treatment on his own terms.
Either y'all gonna get this thing in my vein, or y'all gonna get the security of him. I don't care.
He filmed himself in parking lots and hospitals just yelling. He was obviously unstable, but no one stopped him. Even while he asked for favors online, posting from different parts of Hillendale needing a phone charger, he was steadily losing it day by day.
I thought I had partners and shit, but I need a seat charger. Who fuck with me? I'm in Hillendale, Hillendale, man.
DeKalb County, Georgia, home to one of the highest crime rates in the state, had seen family violence a couple times, but none could compare to what happened on this very day. In public, he and Tomika kept up appearances, the occasional video together, a laugh here and a smile there. But behind the lens, it was a crumbling world, and William had decided if he couldn't control her, he'd destroy everything she ever loved. But Williams wasn't just unstable for no reason. He was an emotional time bomb kept alive by medication, smoking, delusions, and sheer obsession. And when that medication stopped working, so did any trace of restraint that he had left. And despite of all of this, they still posted videos. Smiles, shared food, inside jokes, the illusion of love on social media while a war brewed behind closed doors. But for Tomika, the woman trapped in a spiral, it was becoming unbearable. She was coping for years, but now she was finally done. She would constantly ask for space, peace, and freedom, but William heard none of it. Now, he didn't take the breakup as rejection, he took it as a declaration of war and disobedience. In a violent response, he told Tomika's family word for word that he'd shoot up the house if anyone got in his way. Even if it was children, relatives, or strangers, no one was an exception. And although he wasn't mentally stable, you can tell he just meant it. On Facebook Live, William aired his madness for the whole world to see. He ranted about Tomika's family, especially her brother, whom he referred to as a broke weakling who needed to be put in his place. He said they were trying to tear apart a divine bond between him and Tomika, because to him this wasn't just another heartbreak, it was a spiritual betrayal. And betrayal in William's mind had only one outcome. Even during one of his own medical appointments, hooked up and in pain, he streamed a live video listing names of people he believed deserved to die, all while describing in detail the sick and twisted ways he'd make it happen. And Tomika tried everything to stay safe. She changed routines, took alternate roads, dodged known hangouts, because she knew he was watching and stalking. But no one could predict how far he'd go, just after lying on another live stating he's not stalking, and if he were to ever call, it would be from his line.
Oh man, slaughter gang. I'm a one of y'all. Why? Swear to God, I ain't gonna do no more talking. When I see you, it's on sight.
And finally, June 13th, 2025, William came to kill. He pulled up to Tomika's family house, and with no remorse or hesitation, he made a swift approach to the residence of Tomika. And when he saw the door was locked, he didn't knock. He fired the windows with bullets and in the process unleashed a storm of gunfire into the home. And by the time was over, Tomika dropped dead. And sadly, so was her 7-year-old niece, Dior Scott, after receiving several fatal shots to the body. An innocent child murdered in cold blood. for nothing but a casualty in a sadistic man's fantasy of control. Just seconds after the incident, William fled the scene. Then upon arrival of authorities, an instant manhunt was launched across state lines. Be it surveillance footage and road cams, authorities tracked him long enough to see him jumping out on foot and escaping into a vehicle. But obviously he couldn't run forever, and soon he was arrested. But the capture felt hollow because by then the damage had already been done. And here's where it gets worse, because this wasn't unexpected nor a surprise. Because of one account from a family member stated, the family had been pleading for help, begging law enforcement for a restraining order. Meaning the warning about the death threats, the online videos, the live stream delusions, and every cry for help was ignored. At one point, William even requested a bond in court, despite having told the world already. The court system failed Tomika and Dior Scott. They didn't have to die, and if only law enforcement had done something. And she tried to leave, and because of that, her niece was buried alongside her. So here's a lesson for you guys. Love is not obsession, control is not affection, and if someone shows you they're capable of violence, believe them. To Tomika and Dior's loved ones, we send our deepest condolences, and to those watching, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next one.